Hey up, how's it going? Welcome to this live. Appreciate I'm a couple of minutes late. I had a whole cameras set up, microphones, all that kind of stuff, and it's just not happening. Too many little gremlins in the thing, so I've literally got a laptop in front of me, little light on, and we're just going to roll with it so that we're actually getting something out and about. So, what I want to talk about today in this first live for FitStart TV, bearing in mind that this channel is all about helping getting you started, with a weight loss, fitness, or whatever um, regime. You want to get started. I think I come across a lot of people that really struggle just to get going. So the idea of this little daily show is just to give people a little bit of a kick up the backside if they need it, a little bit of advice, a little bit of guidance, a little bit of inspiration, all those things wrapped up into one, so that we can get started, get going. Implement a new regime and all that kind of stuff. So each Thursday, I'm going to do, when I can, I will do a live session like this. So you get to ask questions and all this kind of stuff. I appreciate it might not have many viewers in the first time, but every big oak tree starts from a tiny little acorn. So I'm not gonna hold back. We're gonna crack on. So the promise in the thumbnail was, take this one supplement before flu season starts. Now, we all know about flu. We all know about the dreaded COVID, and flu hits us hard, especially this time of the year in the UK. And there's lots of medicines and obviously vaccines that you can go and get, and flu vaccines and all that kind of stuff. But there's also something really, really cheap that has now been proven to dramatically help to quash some of the symptoms of flu. And if you have like severe flu where you need to be on a ventilator with high flow oxygen, this can dramatically reduce the chance of you needing that. I've got to put out a little bit of disclaimer that I'm not your doctor. I can't prescribe anything like that. But what I can do is I'm going to point you to a resource that is and that can. And then I'll also talk to you a little bit about what you can take just to help protect yourself against flu and flu symptoms and the treatment of flu if you get like an advanced kind of it. All right. So before I get going, I just want to share. There's a guy that's pretty prevalent on YouTube. He's got millions of followers right now. You may or may not have heard about him, but his name is Dr. John Campbell. Okay, so after this session, go and search him up. I'll stick a link in the description, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, he does a daily video all about health and COVID and vaccines and all this kind of stuff. And he cuts through a lot of the crap. All right, so what he'll do is he'll kind of percolate through research and papers and announcements by the government, and they'll give you, in layman terms, really, really good information. So it should be a channel that you kind of follow and check in with. Anyway, 3 days ago, he released a video that was entitled Activated Vitamin D Trial. Okay, now what he talks about is a trial that's been run by the Japanese, where they had a number of controls and a number of people that were taking a vitamin D supplement. And what they found, that there was a significant decrease in the amount of care that flu patients needed because of vitamin D. Now, vitamin D, got a little tub of it here, I take it every day. Vitamin D is really cheap. It's really easy to take. These little tablets in here are like little jelly things. They're relatively small. And inside that is 4,000 IU. Okay, now dead easy, dead cheap. You can get them anywhere. You can pick up in a supermarket. It doesn't really matter what kind, which one you get, because they're all pretty much the same. They're not kind of regulated. They're not a high profit item like some supplements and medicines and all that kind of stuff. Just really, really easy. But the benefit of these is incredible, and I'll leave it to Dr. John Campbell to explain what the benefits are. A couple of things that he mentioned is can protect against colon cancer and other types of cancer. Like I said before, the requirement of high flow oxygen, to be intubated if you get flu and you're struggling to breathe and all that kind of stuff. dramatically reduce the amount of people that need that. So what we're basically saying today is passing on the advice by Dr. John Campbell to get yourself some vitamin D. Now, what he recommends is, or what he says is that a vitamin D deficiency is incredibly common right now. Lots of us are just walking around, probably because, the weather, lack of sunshine, all that kind of stuff, and we're just low on vitamin D. And obviously that affects our immune system and our recovery and all this. So what he suggests is that you start off and you should be getting should get about 10,000 IU every day for about 2 weeks. And what this will do is it will supercharge the activation of vitamin D in the body. Okay, there's a whole process that he goes into. It talks about what happens with the vitamin D and where it goes, and it gets converted into this, heads to the kidneys, does all this kind of stuff. Okay, and boosts your immune system. Now, that can take time. So by having 10,000 IU every day, it just speeds up that process of almost like front loading the vitamin D in your body. Okay, turn it into like an active type of vitamin D that you can use. Once that's done, you got that little 2 week period, you can then drop down to about 5,000 IU. Okay, and then just keep it going. Just take it every day. There's no side effects. There's no real downside of it, but there's a lot of upside. Okay, there's a ton of stuff that benefits that he talks about. So I'm going to share that link to his video now, and you can cut away after this and stick it in. Now, what he's basically saying is that Western countries like the UK, America, Canada, and even Australia are just not doing these trials on these vitamin D because it's so cheap. Nobody's going to put a load of money into doing a trial for something that they can't really make a great deal of profit on, but they can with other things that counteract flu or apparently counteract flu. So it's a shame that we're not running trials on this kind of stuff, but the Japanese have, and he goes into the trial itself. It's not perfect, but it's good, and the outcome of it is good. Okay, so make sure you go and have a look at that. He also mentions that in its form like this, you'd also benefit from taking vitamin K2, which can help the body absorb and activate the vitamin D. Again, it's relatively cheap. You can pretty much get it anywhere, in any kind of supplement shop, on Amazon, anywhere online. Just kind of, take the two together. So that's that. Hopefully that's a benefit. Go and do your own little bit of digging around and research on that kind of stuff. But as soon as I listen to Dr. John Campbell every day, and for the last few months, whatever, I've just been absolutely kicking the backside out of vitamin D because the benefits are huge. And like I said, I'll let him talk to you and tell you all about that himself, because he's much more qualified than I am to do that. So that's that. Moving forward then, like I said, I'm going to do these short lives every week. If there's people on that have got questions about things that I've covered earlier in the week, or about their own health or habits or lifestyle, food, or whatever it is, then I'll spend a bit of time and just answer those questions. But other than that, just like getting started in a health and fitness regime, it's very much about getting going. I read a great quote this morning, and the quote was to begin, and I just thought really, really simple, but quite powerful quote. It's very much the same with this channel. I just want to get it going, start helping people, giving people a bit of a kick up the backside, a little bit of advice, inspiration, whatever. So we just need to get going, and that's what this is about. So it's not perfect, but who knows where it'll be in 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, or whatever. Okay, so if you haven't, then please subscribe so you get your daily updates, and also share it with anybody you feel would benefit from this. So as we've not got, I think we've got one person watching, I'm going to wrap it up pretty soon. Like I said, next week, we might have a few more people watching, might be able to do like a bit of a Q&A and all that kind of stuff. So until then, another video as usual tomorrow. I think I'm going to talk about the perfect weigh-in routine. Lots of people kind of fudge or try and game the old weighing routine. So I'm going to dive into, you know, the best way to kind of weigh yourself and measure your progress on scales. So look out for that video. It'll drop at 5 o'clock tomorrow. So until then, take care.